My name is Daniel Mohamed. I've just studied City and Regional Planning. I chose to study planning because I'm interested in the issues around making the best of managing land, and I like lots of the subjects around planning, such as geography, economics, politics, sociology, that kind of thing. So planning was something that brought it all together. I chose to study planning at Cardiff. I came to the university here on an open day when I was in sixth form, and I got taken aback by being in the council chamber, being given one of the lectures by Chris Webster, who was the former head of school, and it was just so fascinating that I kind of decided then that planning was the thing that I wanted to do. The school is, well, it's in a really great location. The staff are sort of experts in their field. They know everything that you could possibly wish to question. You can sort of go and approach them at any sort of point, and they're happy to answer your questions. It's just a really nice sort of environment to learn about, that subject. I think we've worked on quite a lot of group projects, which have been sort of very challenging and engaging, and yeah, it's been very testing. And I guess I've enjoyed sort of doing that kind of thing. I did my placement at the Vale of Glamorgan Council, which is a local authority just next to Cardiff in South Wales. It's a mixed sort of authority, so it's sort of very urban but at the same time very rural. So I got a mix of experience. I worked in policy and conservation. So I spent 6 months working on the local development plan, looking at the forward plan basically for the entire county, and then the second 6 months I spent in conservation. So I was put in charge of a project looking at new potential conservation areas. So it involved doing lots of research and going around lots of villages and finding out their histories, and it was really interesting. And doing the placement meant that I had a lot of sort of professional experience to bring back to the course in the final year, which helped further my learning. Well, there are plenty. You have to be so you have to want to do it, and you have to go out and sort of find your opportunities, but they do exist. I spent 2 weeks on an intensive Erasmus program in the city of Ankara in Turkey, and it involved working with 50 students from different universities all over Europe. And it was about sort of working in challenging circumstances, in unfamiliar settings and environments, and it was just really, really good fun. Quite a big range. It varies from sort of classic exams, which I'm not really a fan of, to working on sort of presentations and doing sort of essays or massive group projects where you have to develop a spatial strategy. It's a really diverse mix, which gets you to test lots of sort of areas that you might not get to test on other courses. It enables you to build a lot of transferable skills, I think. Okay, so on the course setup, not only have I built lots of sort of academic skills, such as being able to write and things like that, I've also been able to practice things like presentation. I've also developed lots of graphic skills, which is a kind of interesting sideline that I didn't really expect to develop, but now I'm really good at using sort of graphic software. I've used lots of GIS software, lots of stuff that you might not get to do in any other course. Well, I've actually got an interview tomorrow for a consultancy in London, so we'll see how it goes. I'm quite interested in the long term in doing a PhD and doing research. I guess it's been a sort of interesting 4 years where I've had to, well, not had to, I've been able to spend lot of time with people who share my interests, and being around sort of professional staff who sort of experts in their field. Traveling, I've managed to do quite a bit of traveling as part of the course. But following my trip to Ankara, 2 weeks later I was in Stockholm visiting people that I'd met in Ankara. And I've tried to put the travel experiences into practice, so I've used them in a lot of my coursework. Examples from Stockholm with a sustainable housing site called Hammarby Hostad. And I guess it's a kind of course where you can test the boundaries a bit, and you can interpret, or it allows you to interpret sort of briefs in a way that's very flexible and allows you to use real case studies.